Today I want to tell you a story. This story is not theirs. For those who dream of being happy, this story is for those who dream of living. I want to make you face the reality today. I want to make you understand how acceptable the complaints about your life are. Today I want to make you feel. I want to convince you. I want to prove false all your complaints about life. I want to say that how many people in the world are living in such a bad way. And where you are, where they are, means how happy you are, how sad you are. We don't even know it ourselves. If I had known, I would have remembered him not only in good times, but also in bad times. I would have thanked the Lord. You may have complaints about life, but do not share that complaint with people, but with your superior who sent you to earth. But remember one thing. Remember that the life that is a burden to you is a dream to other people. Yes, that life is a dream to other people. Place yourself among those people who have hunger in their stomachs, who dream not of happiness but of 2 handfuls of food. You have the ability to move. Place yourself among the people who dream of walking like you. Place yourself among the people who dream of eating with your hands. There are many people in the world who dream of eating with your hands. We complain, but I don't know how acceptable our complaint is. How acceptable it can be. We have a roof over our head and a house to sleep at night. I wish we could realize how many people's lives in the world, how many people's nights are spent on the pavement. If there is a complaint about your life after hearing so much, then there may be, but I want to remind you. There are many countries in Africa where 30% die of malnutrition. I am sure that this does not happen to us. None of us die of starvation. Isn't it a gift to us that at least we were not born into that environment? Our superiors did not give birth to us, at least in such an environment, in such a family. Isn't it a gift for us? No, you suffer because you see others as miserable, because you think he is happy. But what does one express one's sorrow? When you go out on the streets, do you say in front of people that I am sad? Do you represent yourself badly when you go out on the streets and go somewhere far away? It's not like walking around wearing bad clothes because every man wants to prove himself happy. I want to prove myself perfect. And it is not an exception in your case. If that's the case, then why should you think about others and feel sorry for yourself? Why should you feel sad even seeing you? Many people in this world feel happy. But believe me, as miserable as you call yourself, how much misery you do not deserve. I beg you, do not confuse yourself with them. Do not compare yourself with them. Those who are in a better position than you, no one expresses their sorrow. Place yourself among those people whose stories I told you a little while ago, and believe me, I can write you down as many complaints as you can about your life. Complain less than that, or they say they complain less about their lives than we complain about ours. That's because they know how to be happy with little. How to be happy with little. How to thank the superior for getting a little. Undoubtedly, the superior loves such people more. Those who live like helpless people. Those who have the ability to be happy with little. Those who are happy with little, who dream to live. And you have thousands of examples of people who, despite having nothing, show a lot. Those who have done a lot despite having nothing. Thousands of such examples are in front of you, and thousands of examples are in front of us. You have seen many such scenes on your mobile. I want to tell you about the past of those people whom you consider happy and successful today. They were normal like you, but their hard work made them abnormal. Their mentality made them abnormal. I don't know you think like that. I don't know how much you complain, but your complaint will be accepted only when you give 100% effort from your side, when you try to give full from your side, and not before your complaint will be accepted. I myself have seen how many people in this world have witnessed it myself. Despite being destitute, he has done a lot and achieved a lot. People start from scratch. Same goes for you. You may be starting from scratch. But in the case of every human being, the person whom you consider to be the idol of your life today, the person whom you feel sad to see today started from scratch, you have to do the same. You also have to do the same. I don't know how you feel, but believe me. This is why self-doubt is the greatest crime in the world. Because every person has some special ability, which separates him from 8 or 10 people. Start to know yourself. Knowing yourself is important. You may have complaints about life, but I don't know how acceptable the complaint will be. None of us know. The reason why complaints about our lives are acceptable is because if many people in the world do better things than us from a worse stage than us, we are much healthier. We have a lot. If after all this we don't start anything, if after all we are afraid to work hard, if after all this we are disappointed, if we sit depressed, if we are sad and suffer, then I don't know how much is acceptable. And acceptable may or may not be. That's because thousands of people in the world, millions of people have done something better than us, even from a worse stage than us. And to be honest, I don't know if you believe it or not, but it's real. Those people in the real world do great things. Those people don't believe in. Those people do great things in life. Those people don't trust. I don't know how much people believe in you. I don't know if people tell you that it won't happen because of you. Much has come, much has gone, much has been seen. If people say this, remember that they are afraid that you might show something big, you might show something good, you might earn a lot. You may or may not grow bigger than people fear, and this fear should get them more. Change yourself by believing in yourself and convince yourself that if you want a man who can do anything, you can't just be mentally weak. Physical strength cannot defeat man. If his mental powers are great, there are thousands of examples in the world who are physically much weaker. Those who have no physical ability, but their mental abilities, their persistence, their willpower changed their lives. They were taken to that place, where 10 other people see him and think that if he can, why not me? I don't know what to think. But I believe that the labor of the industrious man is much appreciated by the rulers of the world. If you still have complaints about your life, then that is your choice. But I beg you, look at those people. Put yourself among those people who dream of a life like yours, who are deprived of many things, and then judge how happy you are. How sad you are you don't want to admit that you are not sad. Because the ruler of the world has given you many things without asking that you do not want to understand. I often say something that seems beautiful to us until the moment we get it. It seems very important to us, but after getting it, its importance diminishes. Reality is just like that. Reality is just like that. Because we are not subject to time or circumstances. We value things according to scarcity. We value all the things we don't have and consider them important. And it is also true that once we get it, it may become worthless to us. Its importance may or may not decrease for us. No, you may have complaints about life, but how acceptable is that complaint? Ask yourself once. Ask yourself how acceptable that complaint is. Don't you see? Don't you look at the people who ask you for help? Don't you look at the people? Those who spend their lives on the pavement, who lose their lives at a young age. And if you have seen it, why complain so much? Remember one thing, almost every person in this world has self-esteem. How helpless a person asks you for help. How helpless a person can choose a path like begging. Don't enjoy how beautiful your life actually is. But it's important. It's important. Knowing yourself is important. Knowing yourself is important. I do not understand why you doubt yourself so much. Why do you question your own worth? I wish I could tell you how powerful you are, how happy you are, how lucky you are. Keep your head down and ask yourself. You must be damned with a life of acceptance of these complaints of yours. But ask yourself once, how many times have you remembered God in your good times? How many times have you remembered God in your happy days? How many times have you remembered God in your achievements? And how many times have you complained to God in times of sadness? How many times have you complained to God about your life and regretted it? In fact, we forget everything in moments of happiness and complains in moments of sorrow. Although these are only one feeling, please don't compare yourself to others if you can. And if you have to compare, do it with those who lead a worse life than you, whose position is worse than yours. I request you to try to understand the situation. Try to know yourself. Try to know about your abilities. Stop looking at others from the outside and calling your life bad. Give thanks to the one above. Undoubtedly, keep faith that your life is beautiful and your future is even more beautiful. Keep this faith and remember times are changeable, whether good or bad. Life changes every time, whether it's good or bad. This is the nature of life. This is the beauty of life. If you complain about life after that, you can do it. But try to think once with your head on the pillow in the dark of night. Put yourself in the position of those whose stories I have told you, and then ask yourself whether I am sad or happy. I believe you will have no complaints about your life, because this realization will never tell you what. What will never tell you? Well, what have you ever done wrong in life, and see if you have ever regretted your mistake. If you have done wrong in life, then it is a normal thing. Because everyone in the world makes mistakes, but the best among us are those who learn from their mistakes and apply them in their lives, who repent because of their mistakes, who admit their mistakes. And it's not wrong to make a mistake trying to correct it, but it is wrong not to make any change in oneself. Even after making a mistake, it is wrong to do no repentant act in oneself. Not changing yourself is wrong. Remember one thing: a man's experience defines his abilities, and every experience comes from mistakes. In fact, you know why we get frustrated? Because we forget that we only have to win once. One of our victories will wipe out all past history and interpret all weakness as strength. So there is still time. If you make a mistake, correct it. Change yourself. It's not that you're weak. It's not that you don't have more power. It's not that those who make mistakes are weak. It's those who fear after making mistakes. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid because of this. Because it is the beginning of life, there is still much left to do. There is still much to be done. There is still much to see. Lose so easily. Remember that one mistake does not have the power to destroy your life. Every mistake is a message for you, each message to correct yourself, to find your own shortcomings. You may forget that behind every successful person there is a history of many failures. The more successful one is in this world, the deeper his history is full of failures. Because these failures have taught him how to be successful. One line you may have heard is that if you want to learn something in life, if you want to succeed in life, then read the story of failure. And if you want to do something in life, then start. Don't be afraid. Believe that no person in the world is perfect from the beginning. His daily little effort makes him perfect by changing him and increasing his experience, which plays the biggest role in his success. So remember that nothing in the world is perfect. It may take a day or a week, maybe a little longer, but it will be hardworking people have never been disappointed in the world and will not be. Change yourself, learn from your mistakes, and accept your shortcomings and weaknesses. Work as hard as you can in life and feel like you couldn't have done more. After all, your failures will give you relief. And after all, you can complain to the Creator. We love to complain to the Supreme. We look to the Lord to see if He will ever do anything for us, but He may be telling us when you will begin. We'll try your best from your side. Effort is one thing that has written many success stories of the world without telling. That has changed the lives of many people in the world without knowing it. Unknowingly, the world has witnessed the triumph of the losers. Try, do your best. Learn from your mistakes and apply the lessons learned from your mistakes in your life. Correct yourself constantly. Change yourself in time. Remember one thing: you have to change if you want to do something big in life, want to do something good, want to prove some people wrong, want to express your power, want to show people your worth. Then you have to change. And there is still time for that. There's still plenty of time. Change yourself. Remember, if your day is good, then no one will question your yesterday. Your yesterday's failures will become inspirational stories in front of people. Your failures will inspire some people. If anyone can come from that place to this place, then why not me? You have stories in front of you who were worse off than you, who lacked many things in life, but then they have proved themselves and proved their worth. Corrected his mistakes. Learning from your own mistakes. Applied to your life and changed yourself. Gave rise to new ideas of people towards themselves. History is a witness in this world. Nothing happens like that. Many say that nothing has to be lost to gain. You don't have to lose something to get something. You have to do something. Now the decision is yours, whether you think like this, how you think, but remember, be it life or hot chef, people apply by looking at the status. People judge power by merit. I can write you that there will be no shortage of people by your side. If you can change yourself, don't you want to make your dreams come true? So why are you waiting now? For whom you are waiting, you are afraid to lose. Well, do you have anything new to lose? If you did, then that would be a different question, but you don't have anything new to lose. There is nothing new to lose in middle-class life. So what is so afraid? What are you so afraid of? Why be so afraid? You were not sent to the earth by the superior. You have powers that you don't appreciate, which you don't want to understand. I don't think anyone in this world would doubt themselves if they knew about their abilities. He did not question his competence. Again, you are not as weak as you think you are. You have never been, so why are you so afraid? If you were deprived of something, then remember, you deserve much better than that. Undoubtedly, you deserve much more than that. So nothing to regret. Try, do your best. Try to correct yourself. Try to learn from your mistakes. so that the same mistake is not repeated for the second time. Another thing to remember is that everyone has a certain amount of time. 24 hours to you is 24 hours to me, but time has no fixed value, because the value of your time is determined by who and where you spend your time. The time you waste cannot be valuable to you. And those who understand the value of time do not waste time. And it doesn't matter whether you believe me or not. But the most precious resource in this world is time. Yes, the most precious resource in this world is time. The right use of that resource can make your dreams come true. But one line taught me a lot. It has changed a lot in my life. And do you know that one should never stress about the things that can be achieved a second time in this world?